I was 12 years when I started scuba diving. When I came to Kenya in 1990, by the age of 23, I will never forget my first dive. It was on a reef called Kinondo. I remember very well, the visibility was just amazing. I was blown away of the pure beauty of that reef, the colors of the coral, the colors of the fish. I thought I was the luckiest man on the planet. Some sea creature will never stop fascinating me. If you see the shapes and colors of some fish, you just don't have any doubt that there is some kind of God out there. The sea is my passion, and it has always provided for me in some way, be it fishing or diving, shooting photos or video. Many years ago, I was involved in commercial fishing myself. I was even involved in shark finning, something that I'm not very proud of. But as I started to become more aware and finally got into conservation, many people held this fact against me. Well, all I can say is that I think that if I can change, everybody can change. There is a local legend here in Kenya at the coast that God and his angel were so pleased with their creation of the whale shark that they sprinkled silver coins on it, thereby its name, Papa Shillingi. Shillingi means silver coins in Swahili. The whale shark can grow up to 18 meters. At that size it would probably weigh about 30 tons, if not a little bit more, as much as 4 to 5 fully grown elephants. It also has the thickest skin in the animal world, up to 15 centimeters thick at some places. Whale shark can grow as old as 100 years. Some new research suggests even older than that. They're quite unique in a way that they give birth to live youngs. Females caught by Thai fishermen had 300 pups in them. The whale shark is a plankton feeder. It filters water, and although it has a humongous mouth which you could probably swim into, it has a very, very small throat, half the size of a football. So even if it wanted to swallow you, it couldn't. The whale shark is caught in many parts of the world for its flesh. It's called tofu soft flesh, and it's a delicacy in Taiwan and China, Japan. Also, the fins are very, very expensive. My name is Volker Bassen, and I am the founder of the East African Whale Shark Trust. I started the Whale Shark Trust 4 years ago. The circumstances are quite sad, actually. We had been out diving, and we came up from our dive, and in the distance I could see a local fishing boat in a cloud of blood. And we saw some commotion at the surface, so we decided to go and check out what was going on. As we came there, we see this whale shark coming up, trashing at the surface, without a tail, and it was spurting blood. We could see something sticking out of the fishing boat, and we came closer, and I recognized a caudal fin of a whale shark. I couldn't believe my eyes. So I asked the fishermen what's going on, and they told me that they had caught this whale shark, but the caudal fin was so badly entangled that they decided to cut the caudal fin off. They didn't want to destroy their net. That would have cost them maybe 10 euros to repair and taken them about 4 or 5 hours. So the easier option was actually to cut the caudal fin. I decided I have to do something. It can't go on like this. Now he's been lying here overnight, and you can see that already the local people, they have cut the fins off. Shark fin goes between $80 and $130. They just ran away when we came. One of the goals of the East African Whale Shark Trust is actually to create more awareness about the whale shark in the local communities, especially the fishing villages. We go into local schools where we set up projector equipment and we beam one of the awareness films that we have made. It's the way to go forward when it comes to educating children, because the children will then go home to dad and say, "Dad, you know, you have to stop killing whale sharks and turtles. They are more valuable to us alive than dead." And that seems to be working very well. When it comes to threats facing whale sharks here in Kenya, these shark nets that the fishermen are using, 4-inch nylon nets, are the biggest single threat. On one occasion, USAID came in and sponsored a group of fishermen with 30 of these nets. It's a very short time solution, which leads to pollution, because when they lose these nets, they create havoc on our reef. They keep on fishing for decades if you lose them. They're killing a lot of turtles. The Indiana beach, which is about 30-kilometer beach, they kill about 1,000 turtles a year. That's like 3 turtles at least every day. The fishermen are actually putting the nets on the reef, so they're also destroying corals at the same time. And they told me that they are after lobster. There are other ways to catch lobsters, like lobster trap and so on. We have to do something about it, and we have to do it very fast, because turtles are dying every day. The trust is also very much involved in research. We have done several tagging expeditions over the years. This year was our 4th tagging expedition. We have been taking biopsy samples. We have also attached 22 satellite tags to whale sharks. This year we started with acoustic tags, which will give us a little bit more information about movement between different sites and areas, and how long they stay in one area, when they arrive, when they leave. The information received by these PET tags, which are pop-off archival satellite tags, are quite amazing. For instance, we had a whale shark that has been diving to 1,780 meters. That is almost 2 kilometers depth. And it's a tropical shark, so you would think it likes warm water. But the the temperature down there was only 5 degrees. Another shark swam all the way from Holbox to the middle of the ocean between South Africa and South America and traveled 8,000 kilometers in 150 days. That must be a world record. Each whale shark is unique in the way that each pattern of the whale sharks is different. There's not one whale shark alike. It's like the human fingerprint. And this can help us in identifying whale sharks. I just love filming underwater. There are many people that are not as lucky as I am to be able to see all this fantastic stuff. And by filming it, I can actually show them what an experience it is to be able to do this for a living, bring people out and show them the beauty of our seas. I think that Kenya has a huge potential to become one of the world's whale shark tourist destinations. I mean, Kenya is probably the only place in the world where you can go out in the morning and swim with a whale shark, the biggest fish in the ocean, the gentle giant of the ocean, and then have a 30-minute drive inland and track the biggest land animal, the elephant, in the afternoon. That must be unbeatable. The way forward for the trust is to illegalize any hunting of whale sharks. We have had reports, especially in northern Kenya, that they've started to target whale sharks. In many parts of the world, it is illegal to catch a whale shark. In Australia, for instance, in India, it's recently been illegalized, in South Africa. We are putting pressure on KWS to help us with that. I often get the question from children in particular, so what would happen if the whale shark was to become extinct? Well, that is a very difficult question to answer, but I do know one thing. The whale shark roamed our oceans before the dinosaurs. I mean, if we human beings were to be responsible for the whale shark becoming extinct, I think that is a very clear indication that we're heading straight towards our own extinction.